So I guess we should. Oh, there, the meeting's being recorded. Thanks. Yeah, welcome to the late night chat where we're reading Effort and Grace very slowly. There's some, but and this week it's longing, something that Darwin really had made a lot, felt it was really important. Longing had a very intimate part in our life. So if we can post that, um, and Marta, if you have somebody to
Holly,
read.
would you like to read? Miss Holly?
Oh, I didn't hear you. Yes, I would
Oh,
love to.
okay, good.
Nice to see everyone. Jay Baba.
Hey, Papa.
Jay Baba. Hmm. Dear folks of Baba, Darwin used to say that our longing is an invaluable essential in carrying us on our journey home to Baba. As he maintained, it is critical in, quote, redirecting our energies and transmuting our lower desires to a higher purpose. We slow down the wanting machine by diverting the imagination to more constructive ends. This is sublimation. End of quote. Longing is not an emotion, but is one of the divine attributes, like gratitude, that flow into our deeper heart directly from Baba. Darwin went so far as to refer to the sublimation of our lower energies into longing as the new mysticism. Rather than struggle endlessly with our desires, that is, fighting the negative in us, we make positive and herculean efforts to turn our full attention toward our longing for love, for the divine, for Baba's immediate presence in our lives. Darwin would say that the tremendous energy locked up in our desires can actually be transmuted into longing for God. How can we help Baba in awakening this longing in us? I think all of us find that focusing on his lovely form through photographs and movies and steeping ourselves in the details of his life naturally awakens a longing to be more intimate in our relationship with him. We are so attracted by his personal attention and care for us. No one in our life has ever loved us and responded so deeply and knowingly to who we are. We cannot help but long for a greater and greater intimacy. We may we may sometimes feel relatively content with our love for him, but if we focus more deeply on our love, we will see its limitations, the conditions we place on expressing it in this world, our tendency to put so much focus on our problems and worries and all our likes and dislikes. If we compare our love to Baba's unlimited and unconditional love, its sweetness and uplifting quality, and his personal care for each one, we will never be fully content. Our soul will never be satisfied with our love for him and will eventually come knocking at our door with intense and deep longing to break out of our limitations. Feeling the limitations of our love and comparing it to Baba's unlimited love in itself creates longing. Mansari, one of the women Mandali, used to say, quote, always be satisfied with Baba's love for you. Never be satisfied with your love for him. End of quote. However, if the limitations of our love create a feeling of unworthiness, the ego has entered the picture. We are letting unworthiness and even sometimes even the delusion of our not wanting to burden Baba. Oh, the delusion of not wanting to burden Baba keep us from asking him for love. He has clearly said, he who asks for my love will be my chosen one. Longing will eventually lift us above our desire nature and self-centeredness and turn our focus on Baba's ever-present, expansive love. In time, the longing within us becomes abiding, and it is a quiet joy at various moments during the day to feel this longing for Baba's divine love. Rumi has said it beautifully. Longing is already a taste of what we're looking for. And elsewhere he has written, your longing for me is my message to you. All your attempts to reach me are in reality my attempts to reach you. Darwin is not referring to the acute longing that some advanced souls experience due to their separation from God. Baba has said, quote, one who obeys the master, who is one with God, need not suffer these things, for in obedience is the grace of the master. In obeying him by remembering his love and carrying out our responsibilities in the world wholeheartedly, we need not suffer the agony of separation. In our obedience is Baba's presence. Our longing grows steadily and is in fact an actual participation in the goal of Baba's love itself, which dissolves to a large extent the pain of separation. Longing is not felt then as a lack of love in ourselves, but is experienced as a taste of Baba's sweet love in this moment and in the moments to come. Baba said to Rick Chapman in 1966, pay no attention to the thoughts of the mind. It is the nature of the mind to have all variety of thoughts, good and bad. You should just keep longing in your heart for me. On another occasion, at a small gathering, Baba had this couplet read out, written by Hafiz on the night of his realization. My ceaseless longing has achieved this union. I am reaping the reward of that longing tonight. What awakens and inspires longing in you? Seeing Baba in photographs and movies, reading about his life, yearning for a deeper love and intimacy with him and with others and the world? Is it Baba's many precious interventions in your life that create longing in you? What do you do when you are not experiencing longing? In his love, Jeff. We are continuing on page 80.
Yeah, so, I was thinking that, well, I had a number of questions about this particular subject, but I think of longing, another way of looking at it is kind of our link. The longing is our link between our love and Baba's divine love. But all the different kind of longings in our life, our longing for spring after a long cold winter, which we've had here, a longing for parents waiting for their son to come back from war overseas, longing for somebody who you were very close with. I mean, a lot of different longings all contribute to, I feel, that one longing. And, of course, I mentioned the photographs and things of Baba. So I'm curious, as we start out here, how you experience longing, what kind of contributes to feeling that longing. I was asking myself this morning, God, where does this longing come from? So I'd like to hear from you because it's there, but where does it come from and how is it fostered, you might say? So anybody have anything to say there? One second here, I got to get a full screen here. Yeah. Oh, we have Diane, there's.
I always thought of longing as not a positive thing in my life. Like I was not being present. I was wanting somewhere else, someone else, something else.
Mhm.
Fill in the blanks. So I never looked at it positively.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess you say wanting something else, but longing, I guess I always feel it has great love and dignity to it. I mean, I when I experience it, I've experienced it as a privilege rather than some lack in me. I don't know how you folks feel. Goer, what do you think?
Sorry. Yeah, well, wanting is different from longing, I feel. Wanting is something when you want something material, when you want either a person or a thing or a treat or whatever it is, physical. Longing is something like, as Jeff mentions, I see longing as more of a spiritual yearning, if you will, as it pertains to Baba, of course. And how you get that longing is, of course, by his grace. I mean, it's more like if you think about him and you incorporate him in your life as much as you possibly can, then that trying and that endeavor on your part earns his grace. And then he bestows that, gives you the gift of that longing. And once that longing comes within you, then it grows exponentially and to the point where, in the end, you are all, Baba is all you want and all you need and all you have. So that's it. That's,
Yeah,
yeah,
beautifully
yeah.
said. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
I have something that I wanted to share as well while I'm sharing anyway.
yeah, yeah.
This was the quote that I received on Baba's birthday, which I shared when we had the session for sharing. And I think it is beautiful. I think it's beautiful. So let me share it. Baba says, when a man or woman is deeply in love with his or her partner, nothing comes between them. They get totally lost in love for one another. There is neither admiration nor fault finding. There is total absence even of exchange of thought. Love prevails without thoughts. Mind becomes defunct for the time being. For in such intense human love, mind does not come into play. The mind apparently gets annihilated for the fraction of a second when love and loving are at their zenith. This brings about a state similar to trance. If ordinary human love can go so far, what should be said of the height of love divine?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Isn't that
beautiful.
beautiful? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think I was blown away by this quote. It was just so beautiful. Yeah, it's true. If you have, like Baba said, if you have the love for Jesus that Saint Francis had, that's the kind of longing, or the kind that, yeah, on a physical level, if you've ever heard the story of Layla and Majnu, the Indian story, where all he ever saw was Layla was everything to him, and he would have died for her gladly. Um, he would have killed himself for the sake of her husband if that's what made her happy. He would have done anything to make her happy. That was the height of his love. But then it gets transformed into love for God. Um, and so that is the height of longing. And you must have that kind of longing to become one with Baba in the end. So, anyway,
yeah, yeah.
thank you.
You know that after Majnun and Layla had not seen each other for many years,
Yes.
her
Hmm.
guardian, arranged for them to meet
Yeah.
one evening, I think it was,
Hmm.
and their love was so intense for each other that they could not they could only they couldn't get beyond 50 feet of each other.
Right.
Their love for each other was so great. Imagine.
Intense.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so intense. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see,
Yeah.
Candy. Yes, you had your hand up, Candy.
Yeah, I was going to say about longing. Um, in my baby steps towards longing, I notice it's getting bigger and bigger and I think because Baba has traveled so many places and done so many things, that I find that almost there's so many things in the day that I encounter that remind me of Baba. Like, for example, if I see a film of something in the 1940s, I think of Baba in the 1940s. Anyway, every time this happens, the longing is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's interesting. It's like this trigger. Everything triggers remembrance of Baba. There's so many things. And it's because Baba has done so. And I've read so much also about Baba, things that I hadn't read in the early years. And now that my head is so full of things that Baba did and said and where he went and everything, that there's a myriad of things that remind me of him, which is great because it's so easy to think of him. Everyday things remind you of him. And then again, the longing comes with that. And so that's where I find myself at the moment.
Lovely. Really.
I don't know if anyone else has that.
I mean, it's so beautiful that he even read detective yarns. He, went to
Yes.
cricket matches, all the things that we
Yes.
do, he entered into
Yes.
our life. So it is
Yes, exactly. Exactly. If you might see something, a detective yarn or something, you think about Baba. Yeah, or cricket match, you think about Baba.
Yeah.
Or any Baba, everything reminds you of him. So that's a great thing, I think.
Yep.
Yes, Ron.
Go
sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, Jeff.
No, go ahead, Ron. Yeah.
Well, I'm reminded of hearing Rick Chapman tell his story, and some of you may have heard him tell his story when he was with Baba at Mondeley Hall, or read about it in the book that he wrote that included that interchange between he and Baba. And what Baba did as part of it was ask him, or he told him, "I want you to see me as I really am." And so he said, that's the important thing. See me as I really am. But then he asked Rick, well, how will you do that? How will you see me as I really am? But Rick didn't really have an answer, but Baba didn't give him any time anyhow. He said, I'll tell you, you need to have longing. You must long for that. And so he said, but then he had another question for Rick. Where will you get that longing? Where will you get that? And he didn't give him any time to answer either, and that one. And he said, love me. So it all seems to come down to that.
Right, but then he goes into, and how will you love me? It's a beautiful part in the book.
Okay,
that Rick wrote.
Please finish it up.
Yeah, I just
didn't
want
remember
to
that
go
part.
into that. Oh, well, he goes into all this. He details it so beautifully. He goes into, first you will look at pictures of me, and then you will read stories about me, and that will increase your love for me, longing. Yeah, and then you will talk to the Mandali about me. He says you will talk to those who knew me, and he goes on, enumerating all these things. And saying how that will eventually create love and longing. And I can't enumerate it all, but it was very beautifully said and in great detail. And that's what I mean when I say that everything makes me think of him now, because that's what we've all been doing, really. Well, everything that he said to do is what we've all been doing. So, yeah.
I had this thought, if someone took away all your Baba books, all your pictures, all your music in your house, there was no trace of Baba, you would feel like something is profoundly missing. But we're surrounded by all these things that we don't realize how much longing we would have if everything was, removed. Yeah.
Marcia.
Well, I find that I get up in the morning and I'm thinking of Baba. I dress my soul in Baba before I go to bed. And eventually, when I've surrendered to him, I realize that he's alive within us. And I just like see him. I just mostly think I'm with Baba all the time because I'm Baba. We're all Baba, you know. We're all the same soul. And I just think about him all the time. I feel like I just talk to him when I cook. I mean, one of your meetings you talked about how do you experience Baba? And I said, well, I get thoughts, like I'll be cooking and all of a sudden I'll say lemon. So like when I'm cooking, I feel like I'm doing everything with Baba. So I don't like differentiate anymore. I feel like even if you took everything away, said the most things are found in silence. So even if you didn't have all the pictures, you're so Baba, we're so Baba. We're his children. So you don't have to. And the most important thing I used to think was obeying, but loving him is just what he really wants us to do is just love him and turn it over to him and let him do his things in his own time. Because we all know if you worry, he's not going to worry for you. But he wants us to be able to do things on our own and make us strong. So he puts us through all these things, and all of us together here, we're reflecting off of one another. So even if you feel separate, we're not. We're all once. We're all one. We really are. And I think if he had made us all the same, he would be really bored. So that's all I have to say.
She's obviously been drinking the Kool-Aid.
Jeff, I think Helen wants to speak.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Helen, yeah.
Oh,
We saw.
there it is. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to raise my hand. I found it. Thank you, whoever wrote that.
Yeah. Sometimes people go like this.
Oh, but I see where it is now. Thanks. Yeah, it's great to be here. I watch these on YouTube all the time, and I watch and I knit. Anyway, I wanted to share that I recently, well, about a year ago, got back in touch with my very first boyfriend from 50 years ago. And we were going to get married. It was, probably the love of my life. But he's in New Jersey, and we'll probably never see each other again. But I experienced, and we talk all the time through email. But I experienced such incredible longing for that youth and that love, and then I realized it's the same longing that I have for Baba, and that became a really cool thing to sort of superimpose the two loves onto each other. And so my old love, who was probably the most noble of people I've ever known, he became Baba and Baba became him, and it was just about longing for that love and that feeling of love, and it strengthened both emotions for me, and it still happens, and I you might have seen my little dog I think about her longing for me. She's somehow imprinted on me from when she was really tiny, and she keeps me always in her sight. When we're walking, she's always looking. She goes nuts when I come home if I've been gone 5 minutes. And her longing for me has been a real instruction too about how to love Baba. I mean, I'm her everything, and she longs for me all the time. And that's been really sweet. I know she's a gift from Baba to teach me how to love and how to, that pure devotion. So yeah, those were the two things I wanted to share about longing.
Yeah.
Which gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah, and like I say, there's kind of one longing that takes many different forms, and it all contributes to this one stream of longing for Baba, I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
one and the same.
Doesn't have to be compartmentalized. Yeah.
No, it's a wonderful thing when you get there.
Yeah, so let's go to the book that we're very slowly plodding through. And I put down page 80, but I don't know. We did kind of touch on this last time, but yeah.
Christina, you want to read?
Sure.
Thank you.
Are we starting at first cause?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to move things out of the way so I can see my screen. Okay. First cause. It is up to us what the master can and will do for us. Therefore, we would be wise to take charge of our programming and switch our focus from the level of outer conditions to the master himself, the source of everything. We dote so much on our self-created environment and spend a lot of time reacting to it, not realizing that the world, even the world of thought and feeling, is in effect not, quote, first cause, unquote. Meher Baba says that we are the producers of all phenomena. We have projected everything out of us. What Baba is telling us is that we are creating our own world, our emotional world, as well as the physical world and our mental world, and that we can design it and make it in any way we would like. In 1954 in India, Baba quoted one of his disciples, Baidul, as saying, "We produce everything, and like fools, we become the slave of what we are masters of." Isn't that true? If we regard the illusory world instead of God or the master as first cause and base our reactions on this false premise, we have created a second degree of falseness. We get caught up in a continuous chain reaction where an event, a quote cause, results in a reaction and quote effect, which becomes the cause of the next reaction, and so on. As this chain of cause and effect continues, we go further and further into falseness. We find that we are continually dealing with the contingencies all the time. We are constantly postulating that we are constantly postulating that certain conditions cannot come about unless certain other conditions are met.
Anybody want to give us another interpretation of what that means, or how it manifests in their own life?
Candy?
Yeah, I love this part. It brings back very fond memories to me because many years ago when I read it, it's yellowed, it's marked up and everything. I said to Baba, because I wanted to go to India, and I addressed him as first cause. And even though conditions were absolutely against me going to India, I went to India.
You bypass the
But
cause
yes,
and effect.
yes. And I said to Baba, just why don't you do that thing that you do, where you think of a way for something to manifest where it looks impossible. I said, I'm not asking for anything. Just
get me to India.
You might want to do that. And he did. And he did.
And it does give him permission to get you to India. He's not going to just, push you to India. If you say you want to go there and he can do it, he will.
Within weeks, I was
Yeah.
in India. Unbelievable. So, I mean, so I highly recommend what Darwin has said here.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
Because a lot of things can take, a long time. We imagine it'll take a long time for us to get over the loss of one of our parents, say. And, the grief process, unfolds over time. But it is possible to shorten that by going directly to Baba and find something deeper where you don't actually feel that you've lost your parents. You feel like or parent, you feel that they're still with you. And that can shorten the span of grief that you might experience by going directly to Baba with first cause. There's that line, grief is love that has no place to go.
Oh.
And so when you give it a place to go, that shortens the recovery from the grief. Yeah. Anyone else?
Rich?
Well, I remember that Dr. Kenmore did a speech one time, I think a Saturday night meeting, where he and it's been published, but he made a specific point, because remember, we're talking a long time ago. So some people pursued God through Christianity, others through theosophy and different things. But Dr. Kenmore was talking about something we're all familiar with. It was a word. So in archery, the Greek word for missing the center of the arrow's path, missing the center is a sin. You've missed the mark. So it's missed the mark, to miss the mark. And I think what I've seen in myself is, and this is very tough for me, very tough. I can barely tell what Baba means by ego. I think it's so pervasive, so concentrated, so powerful within my Chaitanya that I can barely understand what it is. It's there. Baba has explained it all. But the only time that I get a glimpse of hitting the mark and not missing the mark is by Baba's grace. And the way it seems to come through is I'm not expecting it. And also, I want to make a comment that it's him doing it, like we all know. It's him. It's not really me. I don't know how we got here by whatever path that we all made it here. But when we got here, he took the controls away, even though we think we do it, and said, okay, you got this far, I'm taking over. We'll see what we can do. So Candy goes to India. But in my case, I just sort of, trot along going, where am I going, Baba? Where am I going now? And getting older, my brain is a little less cogent, I think, than it used to be. But this missing the mark thing, I know I cannot really see my ego. I only know that if I put myself on a desire, a material desire, as part of Ishwar's illusion as Richard, if I put any thought into that at all, I will be disappointed. I can guarantee you it will not feel anything like this longing for Baba. Nothing like it at all. So that way is the way I can really tell it's Baba's juice, Jai Baba.
Yeah. The Sufis have a little story where about the ego. An ego is like a thief that steals into your heart, into your house at night. And if you bring a knife against it, it will have a knife. If you bring a revolver, it'll have a revolver. Whatever weapon you bring to the ego, it will have an equally effective weapon. So what can you do? Turn on the light. The thief is a coward at heart, and it'll flee. And what is turning on the light? Remembrance of God. But if you try to fight the ego, I don't think it can be done. It's better to it's like a Doberman Pinscher. Just don't bump his doggy bowl, otherwise you're in trouble. Get away from my leg. Okay, let's go on to the next. Unless. Okay.
Okay, who wants to read? Rich, you want to read?
Sure. Okay. Where
God's programming.
God's programming. Okay, so but there are no contingencies or limitations with God. So instead of continuing to struggle with conditions, we need to back up and go straight to the divine beloved as first cause. The omnipotent one who is our friend, our beloved, who wants our freedom for us even more than we do. This means that we focus on the Master or God as first cause, the cause of everything that happens to us. Then we respond to the consequences of His programming as first cause, meaning the effects that result from all the qualities that He is, His omnipotence, His omniscience, His omnipresence. Doing this changes our own thoughts, our consciousness, our subconsciousness, and our environment. You have to understand that as first cause, Meher Baba, the God man, is completely unlimited and undefined in the sense that no one can circumscribe him because he is not bound by any contingency. All the seemingly solid barriers are nothing to him. We need to put our full attention on Baba and not bother with circumstances, all the lesser things. By living at the level of cause and effect, the level of conditions, we are subject to worries and all kinds of illusions, and we experience doubts and fears. Do not bother about that level. Go to Baba or God as first cause. Jai Baba.
Wow, that's great.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah,
good.
and I marveled because Darwin just lived that, and I, being a young person, I was not there at all. He just kind of stayed steady with that. I'm down here with all the causes and conditions and trying to get things to go different ways, and he just didn't bother with that level. Yeah,
Helen,
Could somebody, since I haven't been following along with the book and I don't have the book, I apologize.
yeah.
Could somebody describe first cause to me or define that? What first cause? It's being used a lot and I'm not sure I know the
Yeah.
meaning of it.
Anybody want to?
Hmm.
I mean, I'll
wasn't
just say. I mean, Baba actually is first cause.
Mhm.
He's the unmoved mover, so to speak, that the Greeks talked about. It's like going to the source of everything rather than the the symptoms, the after effect. So if you go right to the heart of where everything comes from, it's a shortcut than trying to deal with the effects of things down at this level.
Got it. Thank
But
you.
so
The
Baba's
source,
really the first cause. But yeah, Candy might.
the
Yeah,
source, just as the source of everything, the source of everything, right?
yeah,
Baba is the source of everything. Everything emanates from him. He is the he's the first cause.
Rich just read it in the first paragraph too. Beloved is a first cause. This means that we focus on the Master or God as first cause, the cause of everything that happens to us. Then we respond to the consequences of this programming at first cause, meaning the effects that result from the qualities that He is, His omnipotence, His omniscience, and His omnipresence. Doing this changes our own thoughts and consciousness, our subconsciousness, and our environment as focusing on totally on
yeah,
Baba.
yeah. It's the
Yeah.
fastest. Yeah, Candy.
I just want to say that that paragraph also has something to do with the other thing that we read from Darwin, where he says, where Baba says, "I am as you see me."
I
I
am
mean, I am what
whatever you take me to be. Yeah,
I am whatever you take me to be. And if you take him as first cause, if your relationship with him is as if you, that's how you see him, that has a lot to do with this as well, I think. And also faith in him, faith in believing that he is what he is and seeing him as first cause. I think that all goes together.
I
yeah.
was
Baba said, if you take me as a judge, I will judge you. If you take me as being the source of all things and of immense help, you get that from him. And that was really great what Ronnie gave that story
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Balul. That was really
Yes,
good.
yes, yes.
I was going to say on the cosmological side of this, in terms of explaining, like from infinite intelligence, Krishna and God speaks, that Ishwar, being the third state of God, remember all the states are not separate. It's all God experiencing forms of consciousness in different states. So the third state of God, Ishwar, as far as I'm concerned, I am nothing but Ishwar, and my ego has been centered around that immense infinite dream. And that is not first cause. First cause is the second state of God, which is infinite consciousness of himself as, the supreme being, or the avatar more specifically. And so first cause means don't rely on Ishwar because he's a dreamer. He's going to dream as much as you want. He'll keep it up. He won't stop. That's
Yeah. Yeah, go to the light for working things out rather than the shadow down here. But
Mhm.
that's hard, It's yeah.
Christina?
Helen, thank you so much for asking because I had kind of a similar question about first cause. So, if I'm understanding it right, down on this level where we are here, if I were to have like a negative interaction with someone and my impulse is to sort of react negatively with that person, if I take, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but if I take that interaction as coming from Baba, then I guess my impulse to react negatively would be muted or gone. I mean, is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
I mean, yeah, anytime you
Yeah,
bring Baba into anything, things
yeah,
go better. But it's also
right.
possible to go directly to him and ask for the love that can overlove this negative reaction. That's also
Okay,
possible.
right,
That takes, you know, uh, yeah, you have to get up above the clouds into the sunlight.
right,
And but what you say, anytime you bring Baba into anything, everything goes better.
right.
But if you can get to him directly, that's the best, I would say.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. And there are a lot of instances of negative reactions in this world, and to overlove them, as Fred Winterfeld would say, it's not easy. Yeah. Let's go on to the next section. Okay.
Cliff, do you want to read or did you say, do you want to read?
Sure.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Rest in first cause. We have to see through the illusions we have been prey to. This is easily accomplished by rising from the level of conditions to first cause and realizing that all these conditions are simply machinations of the mind. Remaining at the level of first cause, we come to realize that these illusions are only creations of the imagination. And while abiding in the level of first cause, we may experience clarity of consciousness, peace of mind, and even bliss. So we have to learn to rest in the Master or God as first cause, rest in that point of view. Resting in first cause is the most practical thing we can do. Call on Baba himself instead of depending on little contingencies. He is the solution to all our problems. Really consider him as that. Resting in first cause requires full faith, and faith supersedes the intellect. Faith the size of a mustard seed can produce the miraculous. That really is true, because all the circumstances of our lives are imaginary. They are subject to change quickly. we discover that nothing is crystallized. Everything can change instantly, despite the surrounding circumstances. So situations that seem to be set in concrete can change instantaneously.
Wow.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that is something.
I mean, he was really a practitioner of this, and I could really see how far I was from being able to experience things that way. He just had supreme faith. Okay.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing. I just want to say one thing. Where Darwin says, we have to see through the illusions we have been prey to. This is easily accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah. It hasn't been for me, but
this is easily accomplished by rising. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find, for me that I have to work at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And remind myself and, go through a lot of stuff, especially lately, but not always. This is really great to be reading this. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like looking at a magician, and if you know how he's done it, it's but everybody else can't. They've gotten tricked into it. The imagination is like a great magician, and it can weave this thing and to be able to see through the tricks. That's the challenge.
I believe Baba's the first cause, and I tell Baba's he's the first cause, and I remember that Baba's the first cause. But when I see my niece suffering, it's really hard to keep reminding me that he's doing it, he's in charge. It's when I see someone I love suffering and there's nothing I can do. That just it makes me remember Baba more, because it seems futile, it seems hopeless. But then I remember, come on, Marta, Baba's God. He can do anything at any time, anywhere, any way that he wants to. But it's the suffering of a loved one that really hooks me for a moment. And I have to remember Baba is the first cause, he's doing it. I gave my life to him. And so my niece becomes my teacher constantly, through her pain. But it's still so hard to watch people suffer that we love. Watch people suffer, period, that are suffering. I just wanted to share that trivia.
And you may be helping her far more than you realize by turning to Baba in regard to her. In other words, her situation could be much worse if it wasn't for your bringing Baba into that picture. I mean, you'd probably be shocked at what would be her fate.
And I also asked Mara to be her divine mother and put her arms around her to keep her safe when she's out on the streets, I really do pray to Mara too. So
yeah. Let's see
Ron.
Let's see what the crazy Balul has to say.
Yeah. Ron, I think that's you, but you're muted.
Then I muted it. Okay, sorry. I did want to tell this Baba anecdote, but you made me think of this, which is basically what Jeff just said. That by thinking that there's nothing I can do to help my niece, it sort of is like a condition that there's nothing that you can do. So how will Baba help her through you? Because that's what he's going to do. You're the closest one there. So he's going to do it through you. And so just remaining open to that, I think, would help. It would help Baba, and then Baba can help you, something like sort of like that.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
but I did want to tell this story that I was thinking of. Bal Natu, when he first came to Baba, he around the same time he met this sadhu, a silent sadhu. I can't remember the fellow's name, but when he was going to meet with Baba, Baba had allowed people to come, and he invited Bal, and Bal invited this friend of his, and he said that he would join him, and they both went in to see Baba. Now, Baba started to interact with this sadhu guy, and he asked him, I think right away. I mean, he might have asked a few things before, but he asked him, "What is it that you want? Is there something that you want?" So he laid it out on the table that this is that he was first cause, and he was asking him what he wanted, as if he was going to provide that for the guy. And but I don't think this fellow was open, because what he said was, "I want God realization," or "I want to see God in human form." I mean, I want to see God. Some very high experience is what he was asking for. And Baba said, "Well, you've come to the right place. I can give that to you, but you have to obey my instructions. So if you'd be willing to do that, then yeah, you would be able to see God." And so are you willing to hear my instructions? So Baba's instructions to this fellow was he was to drink a bottle of wine every day. And now this guy was a very strict kind of yogi fellow, sadhu. He was silent. He he didn't go in for any of these things. He was basically very attached and conditioned with these religious ideas and ascetic practices. So when Baba suggested that he drink alcohol, it was, he was like, "You got to be kidding me." And so but he realized that Baba wasn't kidding him. And so he said, "Well, Baba, that would be impossible for me, because where I live, you have to have a special license in order to get wine. So there's no way I can get that. So I wouldn't be able to do that." And so Baba said, "Anybody here live, where this fellow lives, that can get him the wine?" He said, "Yeah, I can do it." He said, "Baba, look at this. He can get you the wine." And then, but the guy just hemmed and hawed, and he wouldn't go in for it. So Baba said, "All right, don't worry about it. I've got another idea for you. In the meantime, why don't you go and beg for your food, and go up into the mountains, and do a few." He gave him a few ideas that appealed to his practices and the way he lived his life. And so as they were walking out, Baba, said, "It's good to see both of you." And as they walked out, this fellow, it came into his mind, "What in the world did I just do? Baba gave me a sight of God. All I had to do is drink a bottle of wine. This is crazy." And so he was really upset. So he messaged Bal Natu, and he said, "Bal, I want to do what Baba said. I was wrong. I made a mistake." And so Bal didn't really know what to do about this, because he was sort of new to Baba at that time. So he looked at Adi Keirani, who was there when they were walking out, and he said, "Adi, this fellow wants to do what Baba just offered him as far as his instruction." And so they explained it to Adi, and Adi said, that moment, the charm of that moment has passed, and it's not like that anymore. You can't go back. Once it's too late after that. So that's the thing about keeping Baba as first cause. I think you don't opt for the other thing. The condition that you would normally feel is most important.
Yeah. And Baba would ask something like that, and if they said yes, he wouldn't require that of them, but they have to be kind of willing to go against all their conditioning, their whole persona, yeah. Hey, let's go on to the next.
Jeff, it's almost 11 o'clock.
Let
I
me just
wanted
see.
to remind you.
Let's do this last one because it's the end of the chapter.
Sabine, would you read for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
The value of knowledge. Making our unconscious programming conscious involves drawing upon the supervening orders of the universe, which are not miracles, but simply a higher set of laws. Operating from these higher laws is not performing magic in the ordinarily understood sense of the term, but it is using our intelligence to comply with the impelling force of the universe, which is completely benevolent and wishes well-being for everyone and everything. Perhaps the greatest value of knowing all this is the revelation of how unerringly we can depend on God, Baba, the universal mind. Our faith can be transformed into conviction. And when you see the truth of this, then you can rest assured that you really can rely on God in every situation. And then you can work from that angle, work toward trusting God more and more, trusting truth to supersede Maya. Then you know that you do not have to struggle with this or that worry or this or that problem. We should place all our faith and trust in the Master or God. We must know that He can do anything. When we trust in the Master's guidance, He can and does guide us. This is what is meant by surrendering our will for the will of God. This means that we are willing to set aside our choices for the will of God. This does not mean that we ignore the conditions of life. However, we do not worry and we trust God as best we can. When we trust Him completely, we are putting that responsibility on Him. He can take care of all the problems. Resting in first course is really giving everything to Baba and being free. Wow.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
Anything to say to that?
That says it all.
Here's a quote from Baba about conviction. Those who have been blessed with conviction are doubly blessed. Faith carries you through to a certain extent, but faith falters. If circumstances go against you, your faith can weaken and even be lost entirely. Conviction is independent of circumstances. However, conviction carries you through all situations until you find me as I am. Faith is the fruit of one's devotion to me, whereas conviction is my gift of grace to you. I like that. Conviction is independent of circumstances.
Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, Adi K. Arani used to say, conviction is God realization in disguise.
Yeah. Conviction in darkness is God realization in disguise. Yeah. Have we got anyone saying anything to that? I can't.
I think Ron is
Oh.
saying something to it. I mean, Rich, excuse me, Rich.
Well,
Rich,
I was going
sorry.
to say, I was just going to say that honestly, I don't know how quite to do this, but that phrase that Candy mentioned, I remember reading Adi's book, and what struck me more than anything was exactly that conviction. And I would have to say that everyone in this meeting has that conviction, but for me, I don't quite understand the way the world works. I really don't. But because everyone seems to be pursuing just an ego-centered focus of a consensual reality. Well, then there's no consensual reality unless we all agree a dime is worth a dime and blah, 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 you know. But with God, there is a God-centered reality for each and every one of us. So that's that first cause. But I guess it's just my ego. That's it. It's really I think, to be honest, I think I'm going to have to die and reincarnate to get there. That's what I really believe. Hey, Baba.
Yeah.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all, Rich?
Aren't we? Yeah.
Anyone want to help them out?
Yeah, agreed.
Oh.
Help the poor soul out. Okay. Well, let's see. It is now just a little bit after 11. We came to the end of that chapter. And let's see if does go, or do you have another quote, or is that?
Yes, I do.
She's
Man,
got
go here. You're great.
she got a Rolodex of them. She just
I try.
Thank God.
Oh, so Baba says, you must strive to see me as I really am. But how will you see me as I am? By longing in your heart for me. But where will you get this longing? By loving me. Jai Baba.
Yep. Yeah. And it is so true.
Yeah.
Hey, let's have a few moments of silence. Jai Baba. I should say, I see Janet Jacobs was at the center for the last, number of days, and she even made it tonight on the late night chat. She might be sleeping, but right there. One thing that I found too, there's Baba, but Mara also, I feel, can be a great help in this, because she's an example of complete one-pointed devotion to Baba. There's an embodiment of that's so helpful, because she's kind of taking our side in how to live for Baba. I find. Hey, Janet. Long time no see.
Hi, Marta. We hung up on you yesterday.
I know, but I got to see you. That's good.
Yes, Jeff's phone ran out of juice. Yes, it was such a wonderful time on the center, I'll tell you. That Jeff Wolverton, he's something else.
I know. And Bob Yeager's coming in. Oh. Hey, Bob, when are you coming to the center? I'm not quite clear.
I'm You're where is he?
It's a
there
problem
he is. You're muted.
I'm coming tomorrow.
Oh,
really? I don't see you on the chart for some reason.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. Let me take a look here.
Oh,
I gotta.
He's off the chart.
He's off the chart.
Whoop, that's the wrong shoot. I don't have
How
it.
long are you staying, Bob?
A week. From
How
tomorrow
glorious.
till next Tuesday, the 31st.
Oh, glorious.
So you hope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
And,
you
I
hope.
got my confirmation.
Okay, yeah,
I'm coming with Rich and Kitty, Rich Slavic and Kitty Knight.
yeah.
We're flying together, and I think we get there sometime in the early evening.
Oh, there you are. Yeah. I could even
Yay.
I could even tell you where you're going, but I don't know if I should.
Oh,
I'll
well,
tell you, but don't tell them that I told you. You're in the tree room, and
good.
Richard and Kitty are in Cove 2.
Okay.
So you
Good, good.
guys are all nearby.
That's what we sort of guessed was going to happen, but we weren't sure. So that'll be just right.
Yeah.
And the Sedipans are coming too, and so they're gonna fly in just about the same time we are,
Yeah.
and then we'll all sort of arrive together.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful time on the center. If you can, I mean, if you can afford it, and you just to step out of the world of conditions and contingencies and come over here to First Cause.
I am not. I am not.
Breathe the air of First Cause.
I am not bringing the condition of my laptop with me.
Oh, wow.
No, bring it. No, bring you. You gotta bring your poetry though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the redbud trees are in bloom, Bob.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
The blooming redbud trees. Yeah.
Great.
So that you had that beautiful poem there. So yeah, make sure we're gonna make you read that for sure.
Lots of golden pollen now too.
Yeah, a lot of pollen.
Right.
I mean-
There is pollen, but I don't know.
It's fine.
So be it.
Yeah. So, anything else that anybody thinks of here at the last?
Only Nasreen. Only Nasreen.
Oh, yeah, we forgot Nasreen. Okay, Nasreen. We need your...
Are you there?
Yeah, Nasreen.
She's muted. I don't know if she's.
She's saying Avatar Mirror Baba.
Just a minute.
Oh, good.
Oh, there she
All
is.
right.
Okay.
Okay, my dear. Avatar Meher Baba Kiche. Avatar Meher Baba Kiche. Avatar Meher Baba Kiche.
Thank you,
Jai Baba.
Hey,
Nasreen.
Baba.
Thank you.
Hey,
Baba.
Baba.
Bob,
Jai
everyone.
Baba. Jai Baba.
I
Thank
can
you.
sleep now.
Okay, sleep well. Sleep well and dream of Baba.
Yeah. And
That's
what?
right.
Oh, good. There's Anita from Mumbai.
Jai Baba.
Yeah, Jay Baba. What? Have you been to Mehrabad recently?
No, I haven't. I went for Baba's birthday. That's
Yeah.
when I went last.
Yeah. I'm hoping to go in early August.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So I'll let you know before
Uh-huh.
if you can break
Okay.
away. She has 3 businesses that she's manages, right?
No, not really.
Yeah. Well, you're kept very busy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
So
good night.
Okay.
much
See you.
love, all of you.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night,
Jai
everyone.
Baba.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye.
Yeah.
Much
Bye-bye.
love to you all.
Yeah.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba. Jai Baba.
Yeah.
Jay Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Jai
Yeah.
Baba.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Mhm.
Helen, nice of you to come.
I love it. I have no Baba people in my life, so this is really, really
Yeah.
special for me.
Yeah.